at work today. Guy comes in from the shipping department to my department carrying a box. Says, this one says fragile. I thought I should bring it to you directly. I'm like, I got excited. He's like, oh, cool. I'm glad you got it. What is it? I went, comic books, baby. He just rolled his eyes and walked away. He just doesn't get it. Do you get it? Let's open them up and find out what we got. Stick around. Welcome back, family. Thanks for joining yet again. We got a CGC unboxing of a submission that was more than a year in CGC's possession. We're talking about an economy submission. Now, you saw by the size of the box, it's not that big, but it's 5 books. And it's the first of, I think, 4, at least 3. I think it's 4 submissions I have economy that are going through the long and lengthy pipeline. This is not being rushed out like fast food like the modern books. Hopefully books did get properly graded. They didn't get damaged. They got sealed properly, because it takes a long time. They're supposedly going with their more experienced crew. So this is our first litmus test to find out how CGC is doing. I remember vaguely because, once you send books off for more than a year and you look at other books and everything, you can try to remember what they are. But I've got the books out and they are all taped up by Mrs. Ohana. She can verify. So let's see. And I already got the sheet out. So I don't have to worry about that. Let's get the rubber band off, cardboard out of the way. We'll take the first book and flip around, and we're getting... Oh, we're starting right off. Get the next cardboard out of the way just in case. Oh, I think there's the next book too. This is cool. Okay, so we are looking at Amazing Spider-Man number 110. This is the first appearance of the Gibbon, and more importantly, this was the very last book that Stan Lee wrote the storyline for. After this, he became, editor-in-chief and everything, and he didn't have time to write comics. But this was in pretty good shape. I loved this book when I saw it. You see it does, oh man, it presents so well. I'm loving this. This is making me so happy. And also, if you are a fan of Reggie Collects, his fan group are known as the Gibbon Gang. So when I saw this, I do like and appreciate and support Reggie and Reggie Collects. And I saw this and I was thinking, you know what? I think I can get an 8 for this, an 8.0. That's what I was shooting for on this. 20-cent Spider-Man, and we pulled a... What the heck? No! Oh my goodness gracious. Well, when this is done, I'm going to have to look up Reader's Notes to see if I actually got any. Does this look like a 5.0? I mean, seriously. Oh my god. Look at the back. That has got to be the best presenting 5.0 in history. Yeah, it even says 5.0 on the back and on the top. No! Oh man, this is like heartbreaking. I didn't want to see this as the first book. No. That really hurts, man. I felt it like not here, but like down a bit. All right. Well, I mean, it is what it is. We can't do much about it. Thicker bags, I feel like they have. I feel like they have thicker bags. I'm starting to talk like Yoda. So this is Submariner number 1. Now, a little side effect here, as a side note. This was already graded one time before. I purchased this at a show, and it wasn't in a slab, but in a poly bag with the sticker on the back from CGC. Yes. And they graded this as a 3.0. I took it out. I did not do any cleaning on it. I made sure that it had a fresh press. I noted the staining that was on it. You got a pretty good stain right up here at the top. Wow, it even shows up better there than when I was looking at it a second ago. So I agree that this would be somewhere around a 2.5 to a 3.0. Let's see if they agree also. Whoa, major increase. 4.5. I would actually be happy with taking 3 points off of this, getting a 1.5, and add the 3 points to the other one, to the Spider-Man. Oh, man. No, but seriously, though, I'm happy. I mean, my press did help it a bit, but I didn't want to do anything with the staining. I know that there are people out there that can try to remove that, but again, I didn't do anything to the book other than just give it a press. It was a 3.0. I pulled it out of the plastic bag, and I sent it directly to them. 4.5. May of 1968, Submariner, #1. With the exception of that one stain up there, it actually does present really nicely. It's got good color to it. That's one of the things about this book. You see that it fades really, quickly. It washes out. Like, too many people have had this in a sunny, up on the wall with the sun beating on it every day. Okay. So one definitely lower, one definitely higher. This book, I was counting on being the highest grade in the submission. This is Hulk #107. Nothing really specific about it. There's no first appearances, nothing crazy. But this is just such a beautiful book. The spine looked great. The edges look great. The corners look great. I thought I had a legitimate shot of getting a 1968 book in a 9.0. I would love to have something that is as old as me in a 9.0 that I got without having to buy it, okay? So it's even if a 9.0, it's not that expensive a book. But I just wanted to get one myself. And we got 8.0. Oh, man, I saw that .0 and I got excited. Wow. That's actually very disappointing. I did not expect an 8.0 on that. I thought 8.5 at the lowest. She really is a beautiful looking book. But I'm not going to change the census counts. I'm not going to crack it and resubmit and crack it and resubmit and crack it and resubmit. You realize that every time somebody does that, if you crack and resubmit 3 times, that makes the census go up by 3 books, even though it's still only 1 book. They don't know that there's, it's not the same book. So when you see a book that has 50 9.8s and 500 9.6s, I'd be suspect about that. It might be somebody that just keeps sending in the same 9.6. But still, it's a nice looking book. I'm glad to have it in the collection. Hulk against the Mandarin. Really cool cover. Okay, next book up on the... You know what? I'm going to do this one first. I'm going to save that one for last. Because this one is just... Marvel Chillers with Mordred the Mystic, #1. This was not a high-grade book, but I believe it's the first appearance of... it says first appearance of Mordred the Mystic. I'm pretty sure this was the first appearance of Cthulhu. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I know it's not the first appearance of the Darkhold. But still, it's a cool book. And I didn't think it was a very high grade. I would have put it somewhere around a 4. Looking at it here, actually it looks better than a 4. But then again, so does the 5.0. So what do I know? I'm going to stick with my original thoughts that this was going to be around a 4 to a 5. And we got 7.0. Okay. With off-white to white pages, 7.0. What? Wow. Okay, either I'm way off or they're way off, but remember, it went to a completely different set of graders. Maybe I'm just used to the modern graders now, and that can be dangerous with some of my submissions, let me tell you. Just out of curiosity, I want to see the page quality we have. Off-white to white, off-white to white, off-white to white, and off-white to white. We got off-white to white on all 4 books. It's not bad for the time period. Now this last one, again, was not a high candidate, but I wanted to have it before House of Harkness, Fantastic Four #94, first appearance of Agatha Harkness, and first mention of the name Nathan Richards. So you can see that it's really off-cut. It's the cut at the top is definitely off. You can see like almost goes into the Comics Code Authority logo up there. We've got you can see some of the pages showing because of the bad wrap. You can see the white border along the spine. Here it's not there. Here on the bottom it is because that's just the way they made it. You can see that nice. I can't tell if that a crease. No, actually I think I've got a hole back here. Color breaking here. Bad. Yeah, this was not a high grade. 3.5. 3.5. Hey, I finally got one right. Okay, why couldn't I get one right on the 9.0? But yeah, this one definitely had some issues with it, but the majority of the issues are on the back. That's the thing, is you can actually see it looks like There must have been a rock in here at some point when they closed the book and had weight on it. It's made an indentation. Got big creases here, a little hole here, almost like a tear in the back cover. Back cover is really a wreck. The front, even though it's off center, doesn't look terrible. So I don't mind a lower grade if it presents well. If you give me something that's like a 7 and I can see something glaring on it, which, ew, ugly book, I'd rather have a 1 point. Mrs. Ohana has a 1.5 1938 Pinocchio. And one of the reasons it got a 1.5 is because the puzzles on the inside are filled out in pencil. Okay, it's in a slab. I'm not going to see it. Even if I opened it up, I don't care. But the book itself looks great. It is also, I think, one of the staples has come through. And it's not, the cover is partially detached. But again, if you look at it in a slab, it looks beautiful, this book. For a 1.5, you can't believe it. I've got a 2.0 where half the cover is, a third of the cover is missing. So, overall, how do you think I did? I'm happy to have these books back. I've got another submission that arrived there 3 months after this and then 3 months after that. So hopefully we'll start seeing some of those. And also, believe it or not, the next step, my books from CBCS, which have been there since December of last year, to make up for the credit for my lost Stan Lee signature, have made it through grading and are now going to encapsulation. I think it's 17 books I got graded with the credit that they gave me for my lost book. It's also the last submission that I have at CBCS, and I'm not going to be sending them anymore until I feel that they have their together, So, guys, thanks for joining yet again. I really do appreciate it. Still 11 minutes for 5 books. You know what? I'm going to pause this for a second and look up the grader's notes. All 5 of these have grader's notes. Let's take a quick look at them, shall we? Fantastic Four. I didn't want to look at this because you see the grade before you see the grader's notes. Fantastic Four 94, 3.5. Grader's notes. Moderate creasing the cover, moderate scuffing the cover, moderate soiling on cover. I didn't soil it. Somebody else did. Moderate spine stress lines to cover and multiple stab wound. Front cover through book. It's got a stab wound. This could be admitted into evidence. Okay, that's cool. Stab wounds. I never saw that before. On our Marvel Chillers, which is a 7.0 grader's notes. It actually calls this a category modern, but I didn't know it. It says it is 1975, but light creasing to cover, light spine stress lines to cover, and moderate bends to cover. Look, seriously, I've had books with less than this get lower, as far as complaints, get lower grades, and that was annoying. Hulk. Okay, yeah, this I'd love to know. The 8.0, which actually was the highest grade of the entire submission. Hulk 107, light creasing to cover, light spine stress lines to cover, light staining to cover. I know staining gets a major knockdown. I don't see any staining, but well, I guess. Next one is the Submarinara. Grader's notes for the 4.5. Moderate bends to cover, moderate creasing to cover, moderate spine stress lines to cover, moderate staining to cover, and moderate tears to cover. Like I said, I thought this was going to be the same 3.0 that CBCS gave it. I'm very happy with the 4.5. Like you see that spot right there. If it weren't for that, this book would look a lot better. Other than that one spot, it does present well. I'm happy with it. Now, let's deal with my heartbreak, which was the 5.0. Amazing Spider-Man, number 110. Light creasing to cover, light spine stress lines to cover, light staining to cover, moderate tears to cover. Where do you see a tear? There was no tear on this. Sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit. I see a spot right here. I don't remember. You know what? For some reason, that does look familiar to me. For some reason, that looks familiar to me. All right. I still don't think it should be knocked down all the way to a 5 because it's a small little thing, maybe about a ½ inch long. Okay, guys. Overall, my feedback is all 5 books got grader's notes, even the 8.0, which I've not been getting with the modern submissions. They're very detailed grader's notes. And even though it took longer than expected, I am happy with the fact that I know that these went through more qualified hands. So 2 thumbs up to CGC. for their efforts. I think their time needs to improve a little bit. Maybe be nice. But cool beans. Cool beans. I'm liking it. Okay, guys. Thanks for joining in again. Don't forget to click on like, subscribe, notifications, and drop a comment below and tell me what you think, what some of your highlights and lowlights from CGC, CBCS, EGC, and all the other fun ones. PGX. Goodness, that's too many grading companies. Hopefully the whole world will turn around and we can actually get our books turned around quickly and professionally. Until we see you in the next video, which hopefully will be Saturday night's live stream, where we are going to be discussing two new exclusive books coming out December 7th and December 14th. Radiant Pink, #1, and Night Club, #1, both drawn by Deegan Pecoris. He'll be on with us on the live stream on Saturday, the 19th, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Guys, make sure that you click on the link to mark that for a notification. We'd love to see you there. I'm sure we're going to have some giveaways too while we're at it. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you on the next one. Until then, mahalo.